Cassandra Cavalli says, my province has new COVID mandates that my pastor is implementing. Reduced attendance, vaccine passport checks, and masks, even when singing. I think this is unbiblical. What can I do? I don't know, Cassandra. I think, okay, you guys might think that I'm throwing something out here that you think is secondary or unimportant, but to me, this is actually really important. When it comes to these issues, COVID, masks, and the heat of this discussion concerns me greatly. I think that people are, not everybody, maybe not you who's listening, but in general, people are, their backs are up against the wall on these issues. And I think that I'm concerned about the division that exists in that, and how harshly, like, here's me telling you that the extent of the atonement is not the gospel issue that determines, but there are some people who are going to, they're going to leave your church and disfellowship the entire congregation because of these mandates, these rules. And there's others who will leave another church because they won't do the mandates, and they'll go to yours, and they're disfellowshipping a whole group of people, like cutting them out of their lives as Christians who they connect with, because of masks and vaccines. And I'm like, why is this that important? Okay, maybe I'm missing something. Why am I dividing from believers on these issues? Like, if I go to a church that requires, masks and stuff, I'm going to wear them. If they don't, then I'm probably not, because I'd rather not do it, right? And if I'm in a community, I'm in California, so everywhere I go, I have to have a mask on. If you go indoors, you got a mask on. And I'm like, fine. And if I go to Texas, where I went to the ETS conference in Texas, and nobody there's wearing masks, and I'm like, cool, I don't wear a mask. and some of you are going to get upset with me. Some of you are going to be like, I'm unsubscribing from Mike because he didn't wear a mask when he was in Texas. And I'm like, well, you're just being a punk. Like, I can't control this, but I'm not going to be part of it. I will not be part of dividing and ripping apart the body of Christ by taking all these issues and elevating them to the highest status. At the same time, that being said, I fully understand there's real concerns about government overreach, about governments being oppressive when it comes to these issues. And in that sense, I understand why someone wants to push back, why somebody might want to have what they consider to be a principled rejection of authority. And I'm not telling them they're all wrong, but I am just saying, I'm not going to tell everyone what side they should be on, because some of these issues are a little beyond me. I'm just going to say, oh man, can we be the body of Christ even in the midst of disagreement on these topics? So I'll read your question again, because I feel like I'm not giving you a great answer. I'm giving you the best I can here, Cassandra. But you said your province has new COVID mandates that your pastor is implementing, reduced attendance, vaccine passport checks, and masks even while singing. I think it's unbiblical. I don't see any reason why masks while singing is unbiblical. I don't see any reason why it's unbiblical to show someone that you've had a vaccine. I do think that I think it's a mistake for a church not to do something to minister to those who cannot or will not get a vaccine. I think it's a mistake to not find some way of ministering to them, and that is that's sad. Can they? Anyway, I don't know. Maybe, man, this stuff is just such a pain. It's unfortunate. So, yeah, I mean, if I was making decisions for a church, I don't know if I would actually do a vaccine check, not because I think people shouldn't get them, but because I don't want it to become this point where the church is disfellowshipping you. You don't get the vaccine, you can't come in. Anyways, you guys listen. If you disagree with me on this, please feel free. Make a comment about it, make a video about it, post it below. I'm not going to block your comments for doing that. Maybe I'm wrong on some issues here. My main concern is the division that is rising, and the vitriol that the world has enters the church on these issues, and we need to have a higher calling than that.